Hey guys, Joe here. Just trying out the new knife I made in the last video here. As you can see, it's working nicely. I mean, it's doing exactly what I want. And just to show that, even with just simple tools, you can make one like this out of O1 steel D2, whatever you wish, as long as the bar stock is annealed, as I mentioned in the video. But yeah, this came out and sharpened up beautifully. But I have a sharpening system that I use that's readily available for me anytime. I can pretty much put it in my haversack, my shoulder bag, pack, and with a couple sheets of sandpaper, I'm good to go for a long time. So let me show you exactly how I sharpen my knives up. Alright guys, well, here's the way I pretty much sharpen my knives. I discovered this technique reading the Bushcraft magazine. I had a subscription to, and in the article was sharpening your knife with 600 grit sandpaper, and gets it to a lot better edge than with any honing stone. Some of us have these type of dual sharpening stone. Here's like a Viking whetstone that I carry out in my pouch, in my haversack. But I've been using this for a lot of my knives I make. Even the ones I bought, I'll sharpen it up this way, and it's just amazing. It really does work. So let me show you. One is the 600 grit sandpaper, which I already cut in half here. The other piece went off around somewhere, but anyways, what I have here is a 1x2 piece of wood. Well, the lumber price is not so cheap anymore now, is it? But on the back here is I glued a piece of leather on. So what I've done is I could strop it. You could use your belt. Hell, go to like a thrift store or something like that, and they sell cheap old leather belts. Get the longest one you can find. That way you can really have a nice long, just go like that. But this is how I sharpen my knives. If you want to do it fairly affordable, I'm sure you can find a 1x2. I get a clamp. I've also used a C-clamp, but just for this here, I'm going to use these. Make sure it's nice and flat. And one thing I could say about using this is the sandpaper here is one, it's fairly affordable, and two is it teaches your sharpening technique. If you start going in like this and you go cut right into it, it immediately tells you that you're doing it wrong. So with this wet dry sandpaper, you could use water, but why do you want to use water on steel? It'll cause it to rust, even with the O1 steel. You could use honing oil, vegetable oil. For this, I like to use WD-40, just because it's readily available, and I like using it. And a little bit more. Okay, and basically is I just take it like this and find the angle and just go like this. I like to do even strokes on each side. And the great thing about this is it also polishes your blade. You could go with like a kind of a more coarser grit like 400, but I don't recommend going beyond that because otherwise you're just going to be, well, sandpapering it and it's going to take a hell of a scratches to it. Someone I even knew that used it like the 1200 grit and got it to like a super, super polished edge. Occasionally throw a little bit of oil more on it. And what I like about using this system is you can throw it in your pack, your haversack, your shoulder bag, or whatever, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and it is very light, which is something that I really like. Feeling for any burrs here. Have some near the tip. Sometimes you get a little bit, anxious or whatnot. You start kind of pushing a little bit fast, and you start feeling it start to grab the paper. And that's another reason why I like it, because it tells you, hey, dude, slow down. Okay. Now look how polished that is. Isn't that sweet? So, let me show you a little something interesting here. Again, it's fairly affordable. Take your leather here and toothpaste. Got this at the dollar store for like less than $1. What I do is I take a little bit of water here. Whoop, dang it. Dampen the leather up a bit because it will dry out. And take your toothpaste like so, and like a honing compound, realizing I contradicted myself by saying don't use water, and here I am using water for the honing compound. Well, that's what the WD-40 is for, right? Kind of spray it off to clean it off and everything. Ooh. Let's take a test here. Okay, got our paper here. If done correctly, it'll be a nice clean cut. If not, if it grabs, it'll tell me exactly where I need to hone it a bit more on the sandpaper, I guess, the sharpening sandpaper. That's one thing I did like about the article, is that he said that you can tell where it grabs, and you just work that area and it'll be just fine. So, here we go. Looks like it works. How about that, huh? There you have it. A nice, simple sharpening system that works and is affordable, and you can take it anywhere you want. So, hit like if you like, and I sure hope you did like it. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I'll be talking to you all later, explaining more stuff that I'll be doing. See you soon.